Hello, today we have to discuss about the concept of oblique incidence at a plane conducting medium. Okay, so here we have the oblique incidence. Okay, so basically the incidences are classified into two categories. One is the normal incidence and second one is the oblique incidence. Okay, so what do you mean about the oblique incidence is that when the electromagnetic wave which is making a particular angle with the normal line of the boundary separating the two mediums is called as the oblique incidence. Okay, so here we can have the conducting medium. Okay, so actually in some cases in place of the plane conducting medium we are using the dielectric medium. Okay, so what do you mean about the dielectric medium means if we are using a particular medium as the dielectric medium, it means the dielectric medium does not contain any charge carriers. Okay, so here we are talking about the plane conducting medium. So if we are talking about the plane conducting medium means this conducting medium contains the large number of charge carriers. So here the charge carriers are said to be the electrons. Okay, so before going to understanding about this concept, you must be very clear about the diagram. Okay, so please have a serious focus on the diagram. Okay, so for example, let us take this is the boundary separating the mediums. So the left of this line will be medium 1 and the right of this line will be the medium 2. Okay, let us assume this line indicates the boundary separating the two mediums, right? So okay, here let us assume this is the medium 1. Okay, here the medium 1 is nothing but the perfect dielectric medium. Okay, the medium 1 is the perfect dielectric medium. Here this is the medium 2. This medium 2 is the conducting medium. Okay, so if it is the conducting medium means it contains large number of charge carriers, but here it does not contain any charge carriers. Okay, so we have to take a normal line because if the electromagnetic wave is incident on the boundary separating the two mediums, then why we have to take this normal line is because all angles should be taken with respect to the normal. So this dotted line represents the normal line of the boundary. Okay, so this normal line is along the z-axis and this boundary line is along the x-axis. Okay, so you have to remember one thing, that is we are talking about the oblique incidence. Okay, so basically these oblique incidences are classified again into the two categories based upon the polarization of the electromagnetic wave. Okay, so these polarizations are classified into two types. One is the horizontal polarization and second one is the vertical polarization. Okay, so in horizontal polarization the electric field, that means the electric field which is perpendicular to the plane of incidence. So here you see the paper. This paper is considered to be as the incidence plane of incidence. That means the light ray which is passing along the paper. Okay, so here in the horizontal polarization the electric field which is perpendicular to the plane of incidence. So this horizontal polarization which is also called as the perpendicular polarization. Why? Because the electric field is perpendicular to the plane of incidence, right? This is also called as the E field polarization. So okay, so you have to remember very important point, that is oblique incidence. If we are talking about the oblique incidence means we have to discuss about two categories. One is the horizontal polarization. So okay, so this horizontal polarization is also called as the, what is that? This is also called the perpendicular polarization. Okay, this horizontal polarization is also called as the perpendicular polarization, or it is also called as the E polarization or E field polarization. Okay, so similarly the second classification is the vertical polarization. Okay, so okay, the second classification is vertical polarization. This is also called as the parallel polarization. Okay, so this is also called as the parallel polarization, or it is also called as the H field polarization. Okay, so this is very important, you have to remember. Okay, if you are considering the horizontal polarization, means the electric field is perpendicular to the plane of incidence. If it is the vertical polarization, means the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of incidence. Okay, so for example, coming to the diagram. Okay, so this is the medium 1 and this is the medium 2, as I said already. Okay, so here, for example, let us take a electromagnetic wave. Let us assume this is the direction of the electromagnetic wave, which is striking the boundary, at this point. Since it is the boundary line, so this electromagnetic wave striking near this point. So how much amount of angle with respect to the boundary? As I said before, the angle of incidence should always be taken with respect to the normal. So okay, so let us assume this is theta I. Theta I indicates the angle of incidence. Okay, so actually this is nothing but the electromagnetic wave. Okay, if we are talking about the electromagnetic wave, means this electromagnetic wave can have two components, two fields. One field is the electric field, second field is the magnetic field. Okay, since we are talking about the concept of the horizontal polarization only. Okay, so we are talking about the horizontal polarization. So what we are clear? So the horizontal polarization is that the electric field is perpendicular to the plane of incidence. Okay, since this paper indicates the plane of incidence, hence the electric field is perpendicular, means let us take this pen. You feel this, just imagine this pen is the electric field, then the direction of electric field is like that. Okay, that means the direction of this pen is perpendicular to the plane of incidence, light. Okay, so similarly, so let us take, if it is the incident electromagnetic wave, means it has both electric field as well as the magnetic field. Okay, so this dot enclosed by circle, this indicates the direction of electric field which is towards to you. This dot enclosed by circle represents the direction of electric field which is towards to you, which is towards to the observer. So, okay, so I call it is the EI. EI means incident electric field. Okay, so this is the direction. So this direction can be represented as ANI cap. ANI cap indicates the direction of the incident electromagnetic wave. Okay, so the angle of incidence is okay. But whenever the electromagnetic wave strikes at a point, means it has to penetrate into the medium 2, and at the same time it has to reflect back in the same medium. Same medium means it should be medium 1. Okay, when the electromagnetic wave strikes at a particular point, then it has to reflect. Okay, so let us take, this is the reflected light. Just imagine I am going to considering this direction indicates the direction of the reflected wave, ANR. Okay, so here this is the direction of the reflected electric field. Okay, since it is the incident electric field and this should be the reflected electric field. Okay, since it is direction will be same. If you are considering it is the parallel polarization, that means if the magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane of incidence, here electric field is perpendicular. What if the magnetic field is perpendicular, then what happens is that during the reflection, the direction of the magnetic field is opposite. You have to remember this point. Okay, so we have to, based upon this, wherever the direction of the magnetic field should be determined. In order to do that, I am taking a particular object. Okay, let us take here. Okay, so here let us assume the green color indicates the direction of the EM wave, electromagnetic wave, and let us assume the orange represents the direction of the electric field, and at the same time let us assume the red color indicates the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so based upon these assumptions, let us assume let us find out wherever the direction of the magnetic field will be. Okay, so here this green indicates the direction of the electromagnetic wave which is oriented along this direction. So let us take. Okay, so this is the direction of the electromagnetic wave. Now actually this is the orange. So this orange is the electric field. This is towards to the observer. So the orange is like that. So okay, if it is the direction of the electromagnetic wave, this orange indicates the direction of electric field. Now wherever the direction of magnetic field, the magnetic field is in this direction. Okay, so the direction of magnetic field is like that. Okay, So we call this magnetic field direction will be HI, because this electromagnetic wave is nothing but the incident electromagnetic wave. This wave is nothing but the reflected electromagnetic wave. Similarly, what happens about the direction of magnetic field in the reflection? So for example, let us see. I am using this object. So this indicates the direction of the reflected electromagnetic wave. This indicates the direction of the electric field pointing towards to you. Now wherever the direction of magnetic field, this magnetic field is in this direction. Okay, so the direction of magnetic field is here. Okay, so this direction should be called as the HR. HR means the reflected electromagnetic wave, light. Okay, very good. Okay, so from this entire diagram, it is clear to you the direction of incident electromagnetic wave, magnetic field, as well as the direction of propagation. And similarly, the reflected electromagnetic wave, the reflected electric field, as well as reflected magnetic field, and the direction of propagation. Okay, so from all this, so whatever the angle of reflection will be, the angle of reflection should be taken as theta r. Theta r is called as the reflected electromagnetic light ray. Okay, so here just remember the medium 1 is the dielectric medium. So as I said before, the dielectric medium does not contain any charge carriers. Okay, so this is the conducting medium. The medium 2 is the conducting medium. It contains large number of charge carriers. The charge carriers means they are considered to be the electrons. Okay, so now the main property of the electrons is to absorb the energy of the electromagnetic wave. Okay, so here actually when the electromagnetic wave strikes at a particular point, then what happens is that some part of the electromagnetic wave has to penetrate into the medium 2. Basically, it has to penetrate into the medium 2. For example, let us assume this is the transmitted electromagnetic wave. If it is penetrating into the medium 2 means it should be considered as the transmitted electromagnetic wave. Okay, so for example, when the electromagnetic wave is passing through the medium 2, due to the large availability of the charge carriers, these charge carriers are trying to absorb the energy of the electromagnetic wave. Okay, as a result, the energy of the electromagnetic wave slowly decreases. Okay, so for example, let us say, since here the dielectric medium, here there is no availability of any charge carriers. Okay, so due to the non-availability of the charge carriers, this electromagnetic wave can freely pass through the medium 1, because there is no any source of charge carriers to absorb the energy. So there is no loss of the electromagnetic wave when it is passing through the medium 1. Hence, the dielectric medium, when the electromagnetic wave passing through the dielectric medium means we should treat this medium as the lossless medium. Okay, we should treat this medium as the lossless medium, because there is no loss of energy when the electromagnetic wave is passing through the medium 1. Okay, this lossless is because non-availability of charge carriers in the medium 1. Okay, so coming to this medium 2, for example, let us assume when the electromagnetic wave is in the medium 2, let us assume its amplitude will be 100%. The energy of the electromagnetic wave will be 100%. So here near this boundary, its amplitude is also 100%. When it is passing through the medium 2, its amplitude is said to be decreasing. Why it is decreasing? Because the electrons which are absorbing the energy of the electromagnetic wave. Okay, so as a result, for example, let us assume here it is 100%. Let us assume up to this point, that means up to this distance, let us assume its amplitude is, its energy is reduced by 37.2%. So as a result, the distance traveled by the electromagnetic wave, okay, this is the distance. Here the total line indicates, the length of this line indicates distance. Okay, the distance traveled by the electromagnetic wave up to which its amplitude reduces to 37.2% is called as the skin depth. Okay, is called as the skin depth. This skin depth can have the very large number of applications. Okay, so one of the applications should be discussed now. So you have to remember the skin depth. Okay, let us go to the practical example wherever we are having the situations with the skin depth. Okay, so let us consider the living room. Let us consider this is the living room. let us assume this is the living room. Okay, you are sitting in the living room. Okay, let us assume this is the thickness of your wall containing the living room. This is the thickness of the wall having this living room. Okay, so for example, let us assume when electromagnetic wave incident upon the wall. When the electromagnetic wave is in this, is here, let us assume its energy is 100% of energy. Okay, when the electromagnetic wave strikes at this point, then what happens is that it has to penetrate into the living room. So it has to penetrate into the wall like that. Okay, so when it is penetrating into the wall means, let us assume its amplitude was reduced to, that means near this point, let us assume its amplitude was reduced to 25%, because this wall contains the large number of charge carriers. These charge carriers are absorbing the energy or 100% energy of the electromagnetic wave. As a result, its 100% energy, which will be reduced to 25% of energy. This is my assumption only. Okay, reduced to 25% of energy. Then this 25% of energy is reaches to you. That means you feel a very weak signal in your mobile phone. So, okay, so in order to achieve the better strength, you are coming out of this living room in order to achieve the good strength. Okay, so if you feel a very weak signal inside your room means that is due to the concept of the skin depth. Okay, so for example, if it is 100 means when the electromagnetic wave strikes this point, if it has the 100% energy means this energy should be treated as the radiation. Okay, if you are touching the wall, outside wall, then you feel a very large radiation. Okay, when the electromagnetic wave enters into this point, this 100% of energy is reduced to 25%. So if you touches the inside wall, okay, if you touches the inside wall, then only you feel a very small temperature, a small radiation on the inside wall. Okay, this is due to 100% of radiation is reduced to 25%. Okay, so this is the concept behind the skin depth. Okay, now what happens if the thickness of the wall is said to be very large? Okay, so for example, let us see, this is the wall and its thickness is very large. Okay, so for example, let us see a electromagnetic wave strikes at a particular point. Then let us assume this is the 100% of electromagnetic energy at this point. Let us assume at this point, let this electromagnetic wave is reduced to 0%. Okay, during this transmission, let this electromagnetic wave energy is reduced to 0%. Why this happens? Because the large number of charge carriers which are completely absorbing the energy of the electromagnetic wave. That means near this point, its energy is completely reduced to 0%. Now, this entire concept tells that this wall which is completely absorbing the energy of the 100% energy of the electromagnetic wave. As a result, no part of the electromagnetic wave can able to penetrate into, can able to come out of this wall. Okay, so this is the major reason behind the non-transmission of the electromagnetic wave through the thicker objects. Okay, so this concept is very important. Okay, so is it clear to you now? So this is all about the complete theory regarding to the oblique incidence. Okay, so if you are talking about it is the vertical polarization means here in place of electric field, the magnetic field is said to be considered, but during the reflection, the direction of the magnetic field changes. But in this electric field, there is no change of the direction of the electric field. So in medium, so when during the incidence, the electric field is having the same direction with respect to the reflected electric field. Okay, thank you. The next discussion is to bring the mathematical expressions for the incident electric field, incident magnetic field, as well as the reflected electric field and reflected magnetic field. That derivation is very important because it has the large complexity. Okay, thank you.